Hello, this is Dread, and in today's video topic, we are going to be going over Electrify Smite Paladin. This is going to be the update to the cycle starter video that I posted a few days ago. That is because the old version is defunct, hence why I unlisted the video. That is because there is an interaction between Divine Catalyst, right, where we need to actually be missing life to heal to be able to proc all those Divine Bolts, which was the idea originally. The problem is, of course, it's very hard to be missing life to be able to spam it, right, for clear, which ended up being very awkward. We would have to use something like the Exsanguina Sapphics on gloves, and it was just really annoying. So instead, what we ended up landing on is, of course, Electrify Smite. So I took down the old video so that we can make a new one to hopefully right the wrong that I did to the community by uploading effectively a bait build. Guess what? Dread sometimes, he even makes mistakes, right? And that's what we're fixing today. So the idea with this build, we're cycle starting now, is Electrify, Smite, Healing Hands Paladin, where we utilize the not very used often ailment Electrify, which is lightning damage over time. We get it through with, of course, Smite, and now we also get it with Healing Hands. So the combo is we rain down a smite on the enemies. Those apply electrify stacks. Then the healing hands procs on enemies and hits them, which then spreads those electrify stacks around and essentially averages it out on enemies, meaning that every single pack that we do is essentially being hit by our smite. Meaning that, of course, we do enough damage to clear packs very easily. Then whenever we need to go into single target mode, we sit in their face and we spam casts of smite on them, of course. But what's beautiful is I never thought I would ever be able to say that there would be a self-cast smite build that actually functioned as an endgame build. And this build so far has already pushed itself to the limits. We're already an empowered monoliths, and sadly, due to that fact, there's actually nothing on the bazaar for me to buy. I don't know if that was me being too fast, if the release cycle was having a problem because, of course, no one was on, or whatever it ended up being. I ended up getting to the bazaar way too early, and there was just nothing for sale. So the only thing I ended up buying was, of course, the stereotypical Bleeding Heart so that we could leech with this build much easier and replace the Avarice gloves. So overall, I ended up having a lot of fun with this build. We're still pushing it into corruption, upgrading it and stuff. This video is meant to be just a quick update video of day one progress. So let's go in game and talk about the build some more, shall we? In a little bit of less detail than normal. All right, so here we are in game with the character. I'd heavily suggest leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, as that is the best way of currently supporting me. You can also, of course, follow me down below on Twitch, as I'll be live streaming Last Epoch a lot for the next few weeks, probably because of 1.0, right? So the new MTX, by the way, looks great. I love the new MTX. I bought it all because, I've been playing Last Epoch for 4 years, and they actually gave us some really good MTX, so of course I'm going to buy it. So that's the character, right? Let's talk about the new skill, Healing Hands. Healing Hands is really good because we can get it with Hands of Aurelis, which then procs of a Smite cast. This is important because we can utilize Smite to go Electrify with Orders of Lagan, turning all of our Ignite chance into Electrify chance, which then, of course, is a lightning damage over time ailment. That is really good. And it's very good when we combine it with something like Holy Winds, where we can spread those electrify stacks, right, with a bunch of enemies nearby, meaning that, of course, we can, deal damage to packs, which we normally weren't able to do with Smite. Smite is like okay for clear, but it's not amazing, and it has really good single target, so most people would use it for single target. Well, for this build, we utilize it for single target and for clear, because what happens is we hit an enemy, we apply a bunch of course, electrify stacks on them, and then after that, our Hands of Aurelis procs with Healing Hands, and then hits them with Holy Winds, meaning that those electrify stacks, they start spreading, meaning that we can clear the whole pack very quickly with a few bops, which is cool, right? And of course, we can focus on single target, sit on top of them with Volatile Reversal, and of course, Javelin to cast more smites, meaning that we have plenty of single target damage as well. This is probably the first time ever that I've been able to say that like there is a self-cast Smite build viable in Last Epoch, and I've really enjoyed that. So for gearing, our gearing is not good at all, to be honest, at this stage of gameplay. Normally it would be much better, but Dread decided to make the poor decision of joining the Merchants Guild, meaning that there are no items to buy currently that Dread can buy. The only thing he's bought in so far is, of course, this Bleeding Heart here, right? I've this is the only thing I've been able to accomplish so far with Merchants Guild. Essentially, other than that, I'm playing a very scuffed version of COF, other than that, right? Which is kind of funny considering I actually got decent drops. So, like, for instance, we got a Solar Commandment with tier 7 cast speed, right? That was pretty good. Then gloves with T6 cast speed, HP, and like frailty. Then of course we have cast speed, LE dot, and ignite. Then on the other one, we on the sword, we have a bunch of percent damage. The main reason why we're doing this is to just give us all that juicy extra percent damage that we want, and of course, eventually ignite chance once we can get down the suffix, because we convert ignite right now into, of course, here, into electrify chance, right? Meaning that we can deal more electrify based on our ignite chance. So we want to stack as much of it as possible on every single piece of gear that we can possibly do. Now, just remember, it says electrify, right? So the ignite is being converted to electrify, and we're utilizing a lightning skill. This means that all of those ignite stacks that utilize, the tag, like for instance, fire, damage, ignite with fire skills, right, would not work for something like this. So it has to be generic ignite chance. That is very important to help smite, right? And that's like essentially pretty much it for the day one character. I would go more in detail, but I plan on making multiple videos on this build. This is supposed to be a quick video talking about the build in quick succession so that we can get the word out there that yes, Dread changes cycle starter in the middle of playing. That is mainly because, like I said, the stuff wasn't working, the thing he wanted to do before. So now this is why we're playing Electrify Paladin. With all that being said, this has been Dread, off to go play some more Last Epoch. Bye.